Hello my loyal subjects, it is I, your King, King11, and you join me back with another video. Long anticipated video. Basically, as you guys all know, someone actually donated quite a substantial amount of money to me to buy new computer parts. I've got my case in here and I've got all the other bits that go in here, and a new motherboard, new cooling system, all that sort of stuff. I have tried making this video actually like twice already, but problem I had is that the case I had before was missing a very crucial component, and I couldn't actually put my motherboard in it. So I sent it off, sent it back, and I didn't get. I made the mistake of not getting that case from my normal suppliers and all that stuff. But this case is from my normal suppliers, and I'm more than certain that this case will fit my current motherboard. So I've just now got to get this out. I've opened it, just to make sure that it didn't come damaged. Now to get it out. Obviously my room's a little bit of a mess, but doesn't matter. It's my room. Oh yeah. That up. I don't want it to pop like that. Oh, not on my tires slightly. There we go. Perfect. This is designed to fit a full-size ATX motherboard. The other one, however, which said it would take an ATX, actually was designed to take a mini ATX and an IPX motherboard. And if you don't know the difference between those, an ATX motherboard is a full-size motherboard, just like this one I have here, which is a Gigabyte Aorus B550E Aorus Elite AX V2. This is a full-size motherboard, also known as an ATX motherboard. As you can see, the size of it compared to my body, that's an ATX, that's the full-size motherboards. This case is designed to take this motherboard, whereas the other case, which said it was designed to take this motherboard, actually took a mini ATX, which is about half the size. So if you take off these two bottom graphics slots and this bottom SSD, that's that's about a mini ATX. You get the two, and then that, and then you get an IPX, which is like that, which is like really small. So you only can get just about fit a graphics card, RAM, and then the CPU. CPU I went for is a AMD Ryzen 9 5950 X3T. I went for a X3TD. I went for a or T3D, or whatever one it is. I went for the most powerful one I could get within the budget range. And you may be thinking, well, I've got RAM to go in. Well, the RAM I'm actually taking out of this. I've got 4 sticks of Gigastone 16GB RAM at 3200 RPM, megahertz, and all that. Obviously, magnetic gauze for the case, so I can fit the cooler to, and the fan. It's a proper big case. It's 45 centimeters tall, which is what they told me, or 45 centimeters deep. So if I just quickly measure it, because I just have to make sure it fits within my case. So that's 42. Not within my case, within my stand. How tall is this one? 43. So this will go on there, and it's 30 wide. I'm pretty sure. Yes, 30 wide. And I believe that this stand down here is only like 25, so it might not actually go on my stand. Yeah, it's 25. So I won't actually not be putting it on my stand. I'll probably be putting it up here on my table, so I'll be rejigging my microphone as well, and all that sort of stuff. And I can see from now that will take that motherboard, which is exactly what I want. This case as well, also, hang on, it does actually pop these. It's hinged. These panel pieces here actually pop on. So I'm gonna gently peel this out. Oh, that's satisfying. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'll even actually bring you guys over here. I've got my camera on my tripod so you guys have a nice good look at the case. So this is the case. Oh, my very red sweaty face. Absolutely lovely case. I know it's already getting dust on it, but that's okay. Pull that there. Oh my god. So that's hinged, and I think this front panel as well also pops out. Or does this top one come up? I've got to double check the specs. But it's okay, I can work within this anyway. So I've got this nice hinged door, so I can get it all open, get everything in there, and it's even got connection points for motherboard and all that sort of stuff, which is good. And then obviously my motherboard will go in there like so, absolutely perfectly. So that's good. But so now, before we get building, we got to start taking things apart. And with that, basically, I have my old PC just here. Originally started off life as a HP Omen 25L, as you can tell from like the CPU fans and this fan here. Came with a 500 watt power supply, a 1660 Super. I originally then put out a first gen 4060 Ti in one of it, and I actually cooked it because I was running 1 TB of RAM. And then also this case doesn't actually have the best of airflow, as you can see. The only fans it has is a fan I fitted here, which is an aftermarket fan, and that's it. There's no point to fit anything down here. There's obviously a fan for that, 3 fans on there, fan there and fan there. That's it. There's not got much in the way of airflow and stuff like that, so it gets very hot in this case, which is why I've upgraded to this, because this has 3 fans on the back there. I'm going to put a fan there, the cooler is going up here with 3 fans, and then I'm going to fit 3 fans across the bottom. I've only got 2, another one's coming in the next few days, and I'll fit that once it's all running. But yeah, so first things first is I've got to take everything out of this and then get that case on the table, and then take everything and then put everything back in that case. I'm going to put everything in this case and get it running. I was actually streaming for a little bit, and then I stopped, and now I'm making a video. So we'll start with unplugging these cables. So tell me, how's your day's been going, guys? There we go, that one's out, good. That one's out, excellent. There's the other one, so that means that cable is fully disconnected, perfect. So then all these are like SATA cables for the hard drive, SSD. That one, that motherboard I got there, it's already got one of the new, it's already got an SSD fitted to it, because I bought a new one to match this one. So that's already got one in there, and then obviously because I needed to use this PC, this tower and what again, and this motherboard and crap, I had to basically put everything back in here with the SSD that's got the operating system on it. So I made sure I got the right SSD. So if I unplug the SATA as well for the hard drive, so those cables I can get out of the way. Then now unscrew the power supply, unscrew the graphics card, get both of those out, then take the RAM out, and then get the rest of the cables off the motherboard and this fan and my hard drive as well. Actually, I can get the hard drive out right now. It doesn't need to be in this little frame. This frame is for this case only. Put that down there for now. That goes back in there. Job done. And this case has served me well. Right, I will miss it, but I need something with more power, basically. And well, it wasn't just something with more power, it's something with a bit more just everything. This new system's it's got more power, it's got more airflow. It's got more memory, it's just better. But it's more, I went for this case, a case of this size, primarily for the airflow. I needed more airflow because my CPU in here, which is an i5, was spiking above its maximum workload temperatures, even when doing minimum work. And obviously, the old graphics card was getting hot. This one was getting warm as well, but it's because this case doesn't allow for airflow. So now that I have a case that does allow for airflow, I'm going to put this fan on down here for now, get some air circulating. But yeah, because this new case does maximise its airflow, there we go. And then what I got for my power supply is a Gigabyte Ultra Durable Gold 1000 5.0 modular power supply, whereas before it had a non-modular 500 watt Coolmaster. So cables, put those down there next to the hard drive for now. Right, so then, yeah, so screws. Get the graphics card out. And obviously before I do anything, I'll fit everything to the motherboard. I'll get the motherboard in and situated, and then we'll go from there and get everything else fit and that sort of stuff. The case comes with 3 fans fitted, as you can see. They're not, those 3 aren't RGB fans, so they'll just spin on what they are. But I can, at some point, switch them out for RGB fans so I can make them faster. But the fans that are going in, that I'm putting in today, are RGB fans. And for those of you who don't know what RGB means, it basically means you can control it manually and increase speeds and decrease speeds. And the thing is, this case didn't have a lot of room for this big girl, but yeah, so she's in with a whopping great big heatsink. She's out, so that's good. Now it's gonna be SSD and RAM. Let's get CPU cable unplugged. There, get the RAM out first. One. There's 2. 3. And 4. So that's all 4 sticks of RAM. So once I've got all the cables out, I'm then going to get the motherboard over here and build everything on the motherboard. Then move the motherboard out the way, put the case on, and then put the motherboard in. So now I need a PH0 head screw, which is this one. Well, it might be the PH1, but I think it's PH0, which is a Phillips head 0. Yep, 0 for the SSD. Oh yeah, unplug that fan and take that fan out. There we go. And pop that off. Be very gentle with it. There we go. I got a King Spec 1TB M.2 SSD. So this is the one that has the operating system fitted installed on it. So I haven't got to worry about anything. I just plug it in and go. So I haven't got to reinstall and reinitialize my operating systems, which is good. Alright, so then fan at top, which that goes back to the other screw. I was going trying to build a liquid cooled PC, but I'll still will later on. Maybe I'll do that. Probably do it with a 5000 series GPU. It's just at the moment in time, whilst I'm running a 4000 series, it's kind of redundant. They don't get that hot. Well, they do kind of get hot and under work, but if you got a good good airflow case like this, it'll be fine. These are the fan screws. Unscrew these. And I just got to unscrew that back panel, which that back panel, since I've owned this case, has been a bit of a pig to get off. HP, if you watch this, I've got nothing against your case, but you might want to install on the panel on this side that pops off easily with the push of the unlock button. You might want to have a couple of fans installed, or have the ability to install a fan. Or change the layout so you can have fans installed on the bottom and on the top, so you can at least put 2 up the top and 2 across the bottom, because otherwise the airflow in this case is yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so that's redundant. This is the Arctic fan. This is an 1800 RPM fan, and obviously this is blowing air. Yeah, it blows air that way. So this one I'll be putting on the top here as an extractor. This will be an extractor fan. Pull air out through the back, because the cooler's going on the top. So now let's get this screw down the bottom here unscrewed. Holds the case on pretty much. I will be recycling this case, and motherboard and all that will be going to I'll be giving it to a computer specialist to have it all fully recycled, because why not? Right, so that's that. So now try and freaking pull this one out. So that can stay plugged in. Oh, this one. There we go. So that's that. So now that's all of the cables disconnected where they need to be, and now I just got to get that back panel off. So it doesn't actually take that long to do this if you know what you're doing, because I know some people don't know what they're doing, which is perfectly fine. If you don't, you could always watch videos like mine, and I think so. Basically, this back panel, you're supposed to just be able to like put your hand on it and push it, but it's very smooth. It doesn't quite work that way. So what I like to do is use a little bit of smarts and brute force, just a little bit. Put a flathead attachment on my multi-purpose screwdriver, put that on, and kind of just twist a little bit. Like that. There you go. Back panel off. So then now I can pull these cables, all these cables through. I don't necessarily need the SATA cable, because the new ones come with the motherboard and all that, but it gives me the opportunity to fit a second hard drive. So maybe a new hard drive coming soon. there you go. That's the main power cable. It plugs onto the power system of the motherboard as the SATA cable, also known as the hard drive cable. And these are the other ones that can connect onto the hard drive and that sort of stuff. Put those over there, and then the final. So this one's actually, I'm better actually going that way, putting it through the front. Like so. There we go. Like that, and then that is all the cables. So now, this case is now just redundant. Just a shell, basically. This is what you get basic with the HP motherboard. Omen, you get an i5, 2 fans, you get a 1660 Super, one 8GB stick of RAM, a 256GB SSD, and that's it. Oh, and a 500 watt power supply, and that's literally it. So what I'll be doing is putting that in here. I'm going to stand this down here for now. That's out of the way. So now let's get the motherboard. And obviously, big problem is I'm wearing socks on carpet, so when you're doing stuff with motherboards, make sure you've got metal that can be grounded. Touch the metal so it gets rid of the static. It might actually static shock you, but that's okay. So now switch back over to the PH0. First thing to do is get the SSD installed. Obviously be gentle as much as possible, but if something's choosing to not cooperate with gentleness, then you're okay to use a little bit of brute force. Just a very small amount. You may be wondering, why have I got this CPU when I've said in the past I had a Ryzen Threadripper? Well, I actually traded in my Threadripper to get a discount on the CPU and this motherboard and the cooler, because yes, okay, I could have got a Ryzen I could have used my Ryzen Threadripper, but yes, it is extremely optimized for gaming. But it's kind of, I'm not running servers like I used to, because I had that when I was in college, and that PC was an absolute animal. That was when I was running dual 2080s, and then I transitioned over to dual 3060 Ti's, and then obviously then my motherboard got fried and took the graphics cards with it. So then I basically had to start all over again. So that's basically what I did. Right, so that's that done. So now it is... I know I should obviously get those bits unscrewed, but I'm going to get those in the case, have it laying down, and then do that. So let's get the RAM. Now that the SSD is fitted, turn the motherboard very gently, not to damage anything. Make sure all the clips are open. And with these are Game Turbo Gigastone SSDs. You can put them in either way, but I like to put them in so the 3 stripes are at the top. These are 3200 megahertz. When running a Ryzen 9, you don't really need anything higher than 64 gigs, with a total of 12,800 megahertz between them. Do not stick, I know some people are going to stick 6,000 megahertz sticks in them. You don't need those. Those are the sort of things that you need if you're running a 5090 Ti that's liquid cooled with a Ryzen Threadripper. But there we go. So that's basically the that's the motherboard built. Obviously, I always stuck this CPU on, obviously, because I had to make sure that that went in right. So that's the CPU. That's all that. So now it's time to get the case up on the table and put the motherboard in the case and then fit everything else to it. So we're actually making headway. It's good. So I'll put the motherboard over there. Now come here, you beautiful, look, beautifully heavy monster. Oh Jesus, that is heavy. Which is good. A nice heavy case means things are going to work. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm actually going to reposition you so you guys can see what inside the case. So 1 second. There you go. You should be able to see inside the case. Pull this little tag just here, nice and gently. Nothing too hard. Doesn't need to be. Swing that all the way around as far as it will go, which it happens to be there, which gives us all this nice working space inside. It's a longer case as well. Inside it was very tight, so basically like this is all where the motherboard's going to be. Motherboard, graphics card, it's all going to be here. You may be thinking, why haven't I put the graphics card on the motherboard yet? Well, I'm going to get the motherboard fitted, get the graphics card situated, and then once the graphics card is situated, I can get it all screwed in and good to go. Then it's not hanging on the motherboard. Don't need two hands. So we've got a little Ziploc bag, which is awesome. That has screws in there, additional gauze slots, and some cable ties, which also I've got a spare one over here. Well, for cable management. So basically, yes, the motherboard and all that the motherboard goes this side along with the graphics card, and then the hard drive, power supplies, and all that goes behind. And obviously all the fans go this side as well. So get the gauze off. As you can see, it's a nice mesh gauze, absolutely lovely. Very, very well built case this is. And the people who hooked me up, you know exactly what I'm going to say next. Now, thank you for hooking your boy up, and I'm sorry I didn't come to you sooner. Right, now, moment of truth, lay this down very gently. Obviously don't manhandle it too much. So I have to kind of just be very mindful of. Got it at an angle so it can rest on the top. Obviously this mesh comes out like so I can screw it in, and then I just slot this mesh back in. Like so. Job done. Okay, so now, 1 second, move that case a bit more, move my chair back. Yeah. So now, what I'm going to do is, make you guys I'm going to put you guys up here, actually, so you can still see what I'm doing, but, make that a bit taller, but I can also make this taller as well. 1 second. Who tightened that tight? Me did. I haven't really used the little extension head on it, so I'll explain everything. See, as soon as you get a pair of grips on it and you can get a bit of extra movement. There we go. Now you guys are tall. Very tall. Right, so I'll tighten that how it should be. Put that on there like so. I'll tighten it slightly. Do this, and now you guys can look down on what I'm doing. Look down and judge me for doing it wrong. So push the chair all the way over there. Actually, to be fair, because I've got a bit of a wider working area, because this way. Yes, you can hear my fan. I am aware of it. Put that there for now. So what I'm going to do is slide this way just a little bit. I'm going to keep that door on that shelf like so. Right, so now line the motherboard up. And obviously in that packet that came with this case is a series of screws, which is for doing this motherboard. I'll line those up with those holes like so. That one goes in there, that goes in there perfectly. Booyah, that case will fit. I was absolutely terrified it wouldn't. But that's okay, so here you go, little case, computer case, instruction manual and stuff. Ah, wait, so that. Don't think I need that just yet. But yeah, so this end here, in here, one of the first steps is install the fans down the bottom here. Before I do any of that, I'm going to get the motherboard screwed in. So yeah, this is the little packet that the screws and that come in. Scissors, where do I put the scissors? Oh yeah, actually while I'm here, then we'll paste, that needs to come out. The other fans need to come out. So, good. They can go over here. Now, so I don't need the scissors. So I'll look at what screws it is, it's probably short ones. Yeah, that's the fan connection. I don't want the fan connection, I want the small motherboard. There we go. Okay. So, doesn't say which screws, so I'm going to make my best judgment. I'll try my best judgment and say it's going to be these ones. Looking at the threads on them. Magnetic screwdriver, absolutely lovely thing. And I made the right call. Obviously there's no specific way of putting the screws in on a motherboard. I personally like to put them in diagonally, same as you do with car tyres. And that is just solely because it stops the motherboard from flexing. So I put one in the middle here, one up there, one down there. I'm going to do one at the top here, then do one at the bottom, and then finish at the middle. So. And we have spares for the future. Oh well, I'll just put this in the middle. Obviously there's hard drive fans, there's other fan screws, but I got screws that come with my fans which I can stick in here, and that's all good. Oh, that's a different screw. Wonder why. It's not the right one. That's the one, the ones with the little lips on them. Excellent, straight in. Oh wait, hang on. Actually, I've got to take this off real quick. There's 3 extra points here, here, and here that haven't been screwed in. Because obviously, if you've got a full ATX, some people have a lot of smaller motherboards. So, if I screw those in, then I'll have just additional points to help hold the motherboard in place, keeping the motherboard stable and safe. Obviously, they need to be screwed in with little spanners and stuff, which I've got attachments which might fit that. Didn't realise that. Part of the reason why they apply you with they supply you with 9 screws. But we know the motherboard fits, so that's the most important part. This over the top. if this does, I can just stick it straight on my screwdriver and do it with that. Yeah, I can. Good. That's why I love this screwdriver. I bought a screwdriver on Amazon actually, £21. Excellent piece of kit. So, let's see them. Saves me having to get additional tools and spanners and all of that stuff. I can just screw it in with this. I know that one's cross the threads on that now. I better get it going properly. Right, that one's buggered. Right. They fit you with spares, obviously deliberately, so they know you're going to make a mistake. Yeah, when it cross-threaded it kind of damaged the thread on the frame. That's okay, because I've got this. If we need to, how much going in? This, which I can force it into what it needs to be with it. Right, that's that. So now, motherboard can go back in. Oh god. See, sometimes just a little bit of brute force is what is necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in here. I'm not going to screw it all the way down. Put one in that corner. Put one here in the middle. And in this corner. Better actually doing it whilst the motherboard's laying down, because it means you've got gravity on your side and you haven't got the motherboard falling over and trying to damage itself. You're going to get damaged here. Put this one here. As I said, you can do this any way you want, but I like to put them in diagonally. Yeah. Great. If you ever get a chance, always get yourself a magnetic screwdriver, guys. They're brilliant. It means you can hold the screw upside down without needing to hold it. And with some very minor shaking, it'll be fine. Look. See? And last motherboard screw. Right, so then we'll get graphics card point opened. So now we've got to do the bits on the other side, on the back. Sorry, I know my hands covering it are. My hands are a bit, arms are a bit greasy, but it's okay. That's what wet wipes are for and stuff, and tissues. I need a towel, I've got a bit of sweating rolls because it's really hot in my room. Oh. There we go. Right. Now we're in the back. I know you guys can see me, so what I'm going to do is right now stand up like so. Basically, along the back panel here, there is a few slots where a graphics card can go in. And what you do, right, 1 second. What I'm going to do is move it around so I don't have to turn my head. I can just do it like this. So obviously I'm going in that top slot there. And they sit. Where do they sit? They sit below, don't they? Yes, that's going. Those two. I only need that top one. Really. It's only got one slot. So. So I need to unscrew this point, this bit here. Just a couple of screws, ain't no biggie. And the motherboard is technically in the way, but I am not screwing it. Again, I can walk around it, it's alright. And obviously power supply goes in here. Unscrew this back point, hard drive's going to go up in that point there. I have USB points on the top, power supply switch, all that good stuff. See, very simple. What you can do is, if you know what you're doing, you can actually break it by pulling it out. So what you need to do is actually break it off the case. we're done. Obviously it got a little mangled, but simple fix. That'll be alright. So then now I can slot the graphics card in and screw it in place. So this is up. Whoa, that was close. Good thing I'm paying attention relatively. So this is something you guys can watch again. You guys can watch. See, graphics card. I did the wrong one. Damn it. I needed the bottom one. Maybe the one below it. That's alright, it'll just be extra airflow for it. Line it up, push down. You want to be a bit firm with it, and then there you go. Now it's in. So now all we do is just screw it in the back, which is there are screws here for it. Which I believe one of the ones I need is actually that one. One of the ones I tried to put in one way before. Oh, hang on, got to change the head. Where is it? There it is. Maybe not. I think it's... Oh actually, it might be these longer... Which ones is it? So it might be, it says it's these ones. Move my hands over here. I've got to actually disconnect it and I've got to bend that thing back out. I knew that was going to be a problem. I thought it was going to be alright, I'll be honest. should work anyway. What's that? He's come off. I don't know why it wasn't working. There we go. Oh yeah, that front panel does come out. There we go. I knew that did. Right. Gives me a chance then to. honestly would have thought everything else would have been the hardest part to get in. Right, third time's a charm now. There we go, now it's lining up exactly where I want it. What it was, is that bottom piece I didn't take out was blocking the screw port. There we go. It's in. Oh. Alright, so now I can stand it back up. Excellent, so now with that one, I can screw it in on that top point. Not needed, they're strong, good. Right, so now put these two back in the slots for me. They're not needed, they're in there to collect the dust. So I said I use HDMI, I don't use the other one. And what I actually have a mesh guard here, so for the bits that I've taken out, oh, damn it. So there you go, so for the ones that I've taken out where I didn't need to, so like that top one for example, I can put this in, screw it in place, and then have mesh there. So it's not going to get excess dust in there anyway. Done. And obviously that front pop-off piece is so that I can get right in here, so I get cables through and all that without getting all caught up and stuff like that. So that's part of the reason why I got this case. So now I've got to reattach this bit to the back, which is very easy. That goes in like that, and then just screw it in place, and then the job's done. And then that's that bit there done. Then it's fit the fans across the bottom. Get the cooler in, and yeah, we're making headway, guys, big time. Right, so So I screw these ones. Right, so we're going to get the fan on the back in first, before anything else. Alright, so obviously it blows air out that way, so alright, those half-pin barrel hinges. Ah, I can take this door off. They didn't tell me that. Well, that's okay then, because that gives me then full access to the case then. So that's alright. So it goes like, so that's going to go on like this, which is good. So if I actually do that, then it means I've only got to plug in across like that. Cool. Right, so now, screws. Where's the fourth one? Out. There it is. Put it in at that level. Right, so that's the first fan installed, guys. Not technically installed. Just gotta raise it on one side and lower it on the other actually. A bit too much. Just gotta go up just a smidge. Right, so now get these other two screws in, then that's that fan installed. Then I'm going to install the other two, I'm going to go straight underneath here, under the GPU, under my graphics card. They're going to be blowing cold air into the graphics card. This other one that's here, I'll be installing that next week. But you guys don't need to see that, I'll be getting that in, and then obviously I've got the three here, so all of these are going to be good. So these three are actually going to be pulling air in, these three are going to be pulling air in, this one's pulling air out, and then these three are pulling air out. So I'll have a nice positive airflow. Alright, so that's that fan in. Oh, this is where it should be. Oh, hell, that needs tightening. That hinge needs tightening. Oh, it's vibrated loose. Knocking things around. Okay. Righty then, so now that's that. So now I'm going to tip it back over and install these two fans underneath. And I've got the Noctua NTH2 thermal paste, which from what my research was, best thermal paste on the market. And then that's going to go on with the cooler. Once the cooler's in, then it's just hook everything up to the power. I'll get the power in and then hook everything up, and then we are good to go. Then obviously I'm going to run a couple of tests before I start recording again. Right. So lay her down nice and gently. Righty then. Genuinely didn't know that I could take the side panel off. I knew I could do the front one. They said, oh, you can take like the front panel off. They didn't tell me you could do the rear panel, the back panel. So obviously if that's blowing air in, these need to be facing like that. guys. Right, so nut behind there. Second. So that's that one in. Right, now, I know I've got to lay it back down. Just have a look at something. Alright, I'm going to pause the recording real quick, and I shall be right back. Welcome back, guys. You may notice something different. I had to basically get the cables running because I put the fan in, and then I realised I couldn't plug the cables in, so that's what I've done. I've basically gone through and run the cables. Have a little bridging port here for connecting the fans to. Like so. So I'll plug this fan into this connector, like so, and then just push that down in there to just a little bit of force. So you want to be very careful using the brute method. And obviously I have space here for one more, so let's get this all screwed in. Then we can stand her up, turn her around, neaten up any cables that are necessary, run any additional cables. Oh yeah, put the power supply in, run all additional cables through. Right, so that's that. So now actually, so that's that. So now, flip it, run all the cables through the back. As you can see, it's all a bit messy at the back here, but that's where the cable ties come in. So, next thing to go in, which I'll do all the cable management afterwards, power supply. Excellent. Right. Good thing with PCs is that they all use standardised screws, so I can keep the old screws from the old system and use them to screw in. My power supply. Power supply comes with screws anyway, so it's just right. So that's the power supply in. Now I put the cables in and run the cables for the power supply. Run the cables from the power supply, I should say. And then all we have to do after that then is get the actually hard drive next. Get that fit. I'm gonna guess screw points there. All the way around. And that's where I guess these ones come in. Yeah, so after, but the good thing is with the hard drive I have housing, I haven't got an awkward spot to work in because it unscrews. I've got a lot more room in this case, which is much better. These little round head screws, I believe these are going to be the hard drive ones. Yep. A little fatter, and also a little bit longer. So if I want to fit 2 hard drives, I can put them both in like this. So I put one in there and screw that in, I go through this way and down through there. And then I put this one in here and screw it through that way and go through here as well. It's a very good, simple design. The case, for those of you who are wondering, the case I'm using is a Foyfkin case. It's not a Lian Lu or Lian Lo or whatever like that. I don't really like those cases because they are flawed on the premise of airflow. Obviously everything else that is spare, I'm going to keep spare. So there we go. One hard drive. Right, so now let's just check the spare, all these spare screws. Right, so those ones, them to those. Cool. Right. Now, grab the hard drive housing screws. Last screw in there. Right. on. Done. So that's that bit done. Alright, so now we'll start a little bit of cable management. I know, we'll do that afterwards. Right, so let's get the rest of these cables in. Cool, right, so it doesn't have an additional, because my one had an additional SATA port for some reason, but you had to plug it all in for it to work. I think that was for this, Bluetooth and stuff, but oh well. Okay, so, peripheral SATA module, done. That's the one. Done. Right, so that's that one. And so this is going to be CPU. So that's that popped. Right, good. So now it's just literally this one. That's what I'm doing there. So that popped. Exactly where I want it to. Slide that down through these. This hole at the bottom here. Right. Oh, almost ready, guys. And then we'll get on with the cable management. Actually, to be fair, I've got this one. Well, this one here might be better actually plugging this one in instead of, because that one's. Longer, this one's shorter. So actually, if I unplug this one, it's going to harness the CPU. This one I can unplug. I've got a shorter CPU one. Actually, no, I can't fit this one. Has to be the other one. Connecting points aren't right. Straight in. See? Sometimes the actual right one is the different one. Right, so that's that. All that through down there. Right, so now, moment of truth is before I go through all of the cable management and the rear case on, is I need to turn it. I need to see if it turns on. If it does, then I know it's all good. If it doesn't, then we got a problem. I'll have to remedy. So I have a spare lead. Let me go and get that for a sec. At the same time, I can also vacate this case. Just ready, one second. It's in the shirt. It's in my room. That's it. Nope. Oh wait, actually no, I've got to get the cooler plugged in. I'm being stupid. I don't want to turn that on without the... Well, actually no, I do. I want to turn it on to test it. And if everything on there is working, then I know that's all plumbed in, right? Then I can just get the cooler plumbed in, and then we are good, all plugged in and wired up, and then we're good to go. So, get the main lead for it then. Excellent. There are genuinely no more connection points I could plug in and wire up. So, the truth is, plug that in, push that. Oh, hang on, I saw it light up. We have power. Oh wait, yes, I've got to link the graphics card up. That's what the other point is. Cool, excellent. So that all works. Good to go. That's what the other point's for the graphics card. That explains that, because the thing's different. There we go. So yeah, it does have an additional point. But that works, which is what we want. All of that lit up, the fans kicked in. Excellent. Then, right now we can get on with the good stuff of getting the CPU cooler put on, the thermal paste put on, and then once I'm done, I'll do all the cable management afterwards. Righty then. Right. So screws and connectors and pieces, fans there. Oh yeah, cables for it as well. Nice. Righty then. Let's get going, shall we? Obviously this is the cooler. It's Corsair iCUE 150. I'll get all of that done afterwards. Right, so first things first is we've got to get the, it's going to go in like that. There it is. So first things first is we've got to get the fans on. It should be a bunch of directions. Up, there we go, arrow. So that blows up, which is what you want. You want it to blow through the thing and expel out the top. Excellent, so that means they all face the same way. Hell yeah. stand that over like so. I know you guys should be able to see this, but if not, let me just reposition you real quick. Just to readjust that. There we go, you guys should be able to see that. All down here. There we go. Brilliant, so we've got this big old... right guys, so my camera actually died and it's going to take like an hour to charge it, so I'm almost finished. Basically, I've got all three of the fans on the cooler. I just had to go through and I found these brackets, which are the ones I need to fit around the CPU. And then I basically then fit this, which is a gasket, which goes on that, to the CPU. That goes in there. And then vice versa, blah blah blah. And yeah, it all fits. And then yeah, so basically what I'm doing, so right now I'm just currently unscrewing. I just took that screw out. What I put? Oh, it's there. Just currently unscrewing these. Obviously my phone can only record for 10 minutes anyway at a time, so just put that there for now. So I'm going to have to add this to the edit it and add it to the footage. Sorry. Right. So, 1 second. Right again, guys. I have just had probably a crazy like half an hour. So as you can see, I've now got the CPU cooler in place. The thing came with like 4 different brackets for different CPUs and stuff like that, so I had to go through, find the AMD bracket, put that in. So now that's in, so I'm now just running all the wires around the back now, and then we will be good to go. So yeah, yeah, sorry you didn't get to see me put it actually in. I needed my my hands and that to be able to hold it in place and screw it and all that sort of stuff, so that's why you don't see it. But now you get to see it pretty much finished product, and then you'll get to see it once it's turned on. So I'll see you guys very shortly. Hey guys, right, she's all hooked up, all the cables are run, she looks great. Now, moment of truth, turn her on, and let's see, will there be smoke? No, there won't. Give it a second, the RAM takes a few seconds to do up. Every single fan up top are spinning in the right direction, that one's spinning in the right direction, that one's spinning. These two are spinning incorrectly, and so is this one. All I need to do then is, obviously, yeah, these 2 fans here, I've got a 3rd fan coming, I'm gonna fit there. Those 3 fans are blowing in, these 2 here are blowing up, that one's blowing out, and those 3 across here are blowing up and out. But that's it, and the CPU cooler is in place with thermal paste all in, both SSDs, graphics card, everything is good to go. I'm gonna tuck that. Ow, fuck, ow. Didn't mean to do that. I'll turn it off and tuck that cable back in, but it's alright now. It can stay like that, to be fair. It's not in the way, but it is almost touching the things. So, yeah guys, that's it. Right, now I'm gonna hook her all up to my leads and turn my computer back on. Fully. And that's it. This is the Ultimate Beast. I'm going to see if she'll fit down on my ledge, and if she doesn't fit on my little PC ledge, because I don't know if you can see it, but I've got like a little ledge there. You see it? I don't think it'll fit, so I'm probably going to have to rejig my setup. So my microphone, I know my room's all a mess now, My microphone is going to go on this side, and then I'm going to put this here. Yeah, it's probably the best thing for it, really. Yeah, so I'll see you guys very shortly. I'm going to be going live very soon. So yeah. Hello, my little subjects. I'm here. I want to say thank you guys for being patient with me over the last couple of days, whilst obviously I know I haven't been live, because basically I was building my PC and I had problems trying to get it to initialize the operating system. But it's all good now, as you can tell. PC's up and running, won't have any graphic issues now, won't have CPU spiking out, and won't have it buffering on certain games such as like Star Wars Outlaws. So that series will be coming back. We're going to start new and hit it again and all that. But I want to say thank you guys for being patient with me, and obviously, like, I hope you guys have enjoyed actually the calamity that is me trying to put it all together. Like, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but I've built PCs before. This is the first time I used a CPU cooler like that. I normally would just put just a 2-stage fan system on it and all that, but like, yeah, like, this is the most powerful PC I've owned to date, except for different CPU and all that. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and now here's to making much more better quality content for you guys now, because I'll be able to play much more games, I'll be able to diversify a bit more, and you guys will be able to see. I never actually had to change the position of my microphone, and that I used one of the old side panels from my old PC case to stand my new absolute monster of a computer. Yeah, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Be on the lookout for new videos, new live streams, and I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, guys.